Takadosh, Boker Or Shavua Tov, Masechet Bava Metzia Daf Daled Amud Aleph 7481. The Gemara says on the first line, Amar Rava. Rava comes and he says, Hani betlata diyave zuze lechad. Three people that they come and they give money to one person, lemizben to buy something for them. The zavan lechad minayos only acquires for one of them. Yeah, zavan lechulhu. He acquires for all of them. They all become. So imagine, I come and I give money to Baba Haki to buy us some stocks, and Rafi Levi also, and also Mordechai, and everyone. They give. Baba Haki goes, you know what? I'm buying it for the rabbi. So what happens? Since we all three of us gave the money to him, when he buys it for every one of us, and we're all partners. He doesn't buy it for one; he bought it for all three, and therefore we become partners. One of these words, if they didn't come and they signed by themselves, but they all bought it together. So we all brought the money together to him, and we gave him the money together. But if each one of us came and signed off that we're giving the money and it's separate, then no, whoever he bought it for. So he bought it for me, bought it for me, bought it for Rafi, bought it for Rafi. Okay. Right? Because that could happen. I come and give you money. I tell you, go buy me a drink from Publix. He gives you money, go buy me. And then all of a sudden you buy one drink. So this is what they had. So now who's owner? Are we all partners or no? You bought it for who? Who did you buy it for? So this is a case. So I'm Rav Papi Mishmed Rava. Says Rav Papi in the name of Rava. Hai situmta. Yeah, the situmta is basically where the storekeepers, they come and they write down on the barrels of wine as a sign that it's sold. Kanya. It's sold. Many places, they actually write names. So for example, that these boxes belong to Cafe Ver. So you come and you write down, that's it. Once it's signed on the box, it's sold. That's it. Kabish? Yeah, even though they didn't pay for it yet. Once they come and you mark it down, that's it. Okay? So he comes and he says, Ya l'may hilchatan. What do we need to know this for? He says, Rav Chavia Amar l'mikni mamash. Are we going to come and say that it's like mamash, like a kinyan? Rabbanan Amare and Rabbanan say lekabul le mishapara. That is a mishapara, which means what happens now if he decides to change? So imagine I come and I write down here Mordechai Saban. So I wrote it. All of a sudden, Rafi comes and he says, you know what? I want to pay. Now I know that Mordechai was gonna take time, right? It's not true, by the way. He pays right away. But Keilu is he's gonna come give me the cash. So now the question is, can I? Oh yeah, take it, even though I wrote it on it. Can I give it to him or not? Is it considered mamash that it's kilu agba'a? Shezekvar shayach leMordechai. It's kinyan. There was no kinyan really done. All he did was he wrote down the name on it. It was a stumta, but it's keilu was a kinyan already done. Or do we say no mishapara? What's a mishapara? I just retracted on the sale. When you retract on a sale, since he didn't do a real kinyan, I'm allowed to. But there's a curse. A curse is mishapara leMitzrayim vekolele azu yifra mimenu gamken. Why? Because we have to be ne'emanim b'dibur. Meaning, if I give my word to Mordechai that I'm selling him this, I gave my word. Well, I'm going to start playing around this, that. No. You have to be trustworthy. With what? So now, sort of, Chaviva comes and he says, is it a kinyan mamash? And Rabbanan comes and he says, mishapara. V'ilchata what's halacha? Lekebul ele mishapara. That the kinyan of situmta is only a kinyan to do with accepting upon himself mishapara. And therefore, but in a place where they have the kinyan, right, through situmta, so therefore it's mamash, it's a kinyan gamur. Meaning in certain places, the writing of the name was already enough. Meaning kaddish is nothing to talk about. The second the name is written, that's it. It's a signed deal. So therefore, in that place, you're right, it's a kinyan mamash. But if not, you could change it up a little bit. Doesn't matter. You understand? Or they'll come, they'll come and they'll do that. You understand? So now the Gemara starts like this. It's 2 dots. Hayahu techila lakotzerim. Yeah, imagine right now the first mocher comes and he reaps the grain. And he already has a pile. And it still didn't come out the price. So Amar Rav says, mechusar shetayim posek. If he has 2 melachot left, it's still permitted to come to be posek, right? But if it's going to be that it's mechusar shalosh melachot, eno posek, which means how much more does he have to finish the job? Yeah, how many melachot? Is it 2 melachot or is it 3? If it's 2, he could be posek the mechir. But if it's going to be 3 melachot, which is still lacking, so then he's not going to be posek the mechir. Okay? So now says the Gemara, Shmuel Aman Shmuel says, Bidei Adam, if it's going to be only melachot, right, that he's saying that is Bidei Adam and not Bidei Shamayim, afilu mea posek, even if it's lacking 100 melachot to get to the final product, it will be posek. Bidei Shamayim, afilu, so he says, for example, you need the wind or things like that. That means that's Bidei Shamayim. So afilu achat and posek. So it's good. Meaning, once it's considered a finished product, if it's me that I could come and I could finish it off, so then it doesn't matter how many works I still have to do or how many jobs I still have to do to finish off the product, right? Why? Because it's dependent upon me. I could do it whatever I want, but if it's going to be something else, it's different. Tonight we learned in the Mishnah, posek imola gadish, right? You can be posek on the gadish. So he says, v'hamechusar nishta b'chamel meva. She says, yeah, but you have to put it in the sun to dry up. But that's dependent upon shamayim. Ulmei dash, you have to do threshing. That's dash. Umidra. Midra is zoreh. Zoreh is when you throw it up in the air and then it separates the kernels from the flasks. From flasks? Yeah? I forgot the word. From the from the kernels from the I forgot what the word. Okay, but that's what you're separating. So answers the Gemara. She says no. You already put it in the sun to dry up, and therefore it's only lacking 2 melachot. So he says, but according to Shmuel, it has to be the shamayim. And here, even if it's going to be 1, it's not posek. And here it's missing the zorez with the ruach. So the ruach is bishamayim. It be the shamayim. And so the Gemara Shabbat Afvata. You could do it with the wind, or sometimes you could do it with a sieve. And if you could do it with a sieve, so that's not be the shamayim, it's be the adam. You could do it yourself. You could separate it yourself. So says the Gemara, right? You're allowed to come and you're allowed to take from the lokeach, from the grapes. That you come and you put them in a navit. A navit is a very big bowl, and that's what they come and they crush them. You know, in Morocco, they used to make their own wine, you know, they used to, with their feet. They used to come and they used to crush it. Yeah. He says, 1 second, but it's lacking michmar. Michmar is the warming them up inside David. I'm putting them inside the gut, which is the press. Lemeidash, in order to come to press upon them, to stamp upon them, will mean God. And also take the wine out. So look how many melachot that you're lacking. So answers the Gemara, ala komer shel zatim, hachanami, so too here, when we're talking about now, ala komer shel zatim, which means that they already were heated up, right, and already put in the gut. So therefore, it's only lacking 2 different jobs. Okay? So says the Gemara, but it's not 2, it's 3. There are 3 things. Putting them inside their gut, right, trampling upon them, and then taking out the wine. And so the Gemara, he says, no, they're already selling it in such a case that basically it's only 2 different jobs, because they used to sell it when it was still in the gut. So therefore, when you're taking it out from the gut, that was not an extra melacha. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Yes. Okay. That's a gut. I don't know how you say it. I think it's like a wine. Yeah. Kerem is a vineyard, and then the gut is where, yes. Beta bad ze bishvil yain, ze bishvil shemen. Beta bad is the oil press, and the gut is the wine press. Yeah, yes. Valamatan shel zetim. Now we're talking about zetim. So he says, 1 second. He says, 1 second. When you put the olives, right? We're learning how to make olives and grapes. Yeah, about the oil and the wine. When you have the olives, what do you have to do? You have to put them inside of the press also, right? Then after that, first of all, you have to put them in a big barrel. It has to heat up. Then afterwards, you put it in the press. Then afterwards, you press it. You press them, and then afterwards, you come and you take out the oil from the oil press. Yeah. So you. So it says the Gemara. When we're talking about now the komesh as a team, he says there's 3 things. There's first of all putting them into the betabad, which is in the place where they're going to press them. They're trampling upon them and then taking the oil. So no, that's the way that they sell it. What about on the eggs, right? Which basically these are not really eggs. This is like what they're putting the kedirot, right? That they prepare their they're calling eggs because they're like little tiny balls of teeth of tar and of cement. Amai, why? The hamechusar Lefufev yabushe yule letunim nisraf ulmepak. He says it's missing, right? The gilgulam according to the midat gdira. It's missing the drying of them. It's missing the putting them into the kivshan. It's missing, burning it, like purifying it, and then taking it out. Answers the Gemara. He says that they already did them. He says, but there's three things: putting them into the oven, burning it, and then taking it out of the oven. So no better those oven. They sell it already when it's already going to come out like that. That means the second they take it out of the oven, they're already selling it. Also on the line, when they put it in the oven. It says 1 second, but it's also lacking. It's lacking mikla, ve'apuke, umeidak. So he comes and he says it's already missing these three things. What is it missing exactly? He comes and he says it's already missing, right? The burning in the oven, taking it out, and then also making it into small little tiny things after it was burnt. No, they sold it even before when it was still before making it small. And according to Shmuel, he says bidei adam, but even if it's going to be 100, so why do I need this case then? So he says once it's already fitting to put it into the kishan, it's already going to be enough. ועל הביצים של יוצר, תנו רבנן, we learned in the Braita, הם פוסקים הביצים של יוצר עד שיעשו until they make them. These are the words that Rabbi mean. It says Rabbi Yosef, one of these words, the afar lavan, only something which is not going to be common. It's going to be afar shachor, for example, kfar chananya chavrotea, or kfar shechim chavrotea poskim, they do it. Even though you don't have one, you have the other one. Ameima yaivzuze mikiale afra. Ameima will come and give the money, right? The second that they gave, right, that they put it, right, once they put it into the afar, the shachor inside of their houses. So Kiman, who does that go like? If it's going to be like Rabbi Meir, Hamar, he said Achiasu until they actually put it and they make it. But if it's going to be Rabbi Yosef, he says So answers the Gemara, Leolam really be'emet, it's like Rabbi Yosef, and we're talking about a place, the Meimad Ashik Afra, where it's going to be very expensive. Therefore, it's not common. So Afra Sam Chadate, the second that he put it into his house, he's going to be Somech Datov Yaduzuz and he's going to give the money. But if not, he's not going to be Somech Datov. Uposek imo ala zevel kolim oto shana. So says the Gemara, the two dots, right? He's going to put for the fertilizer all year round. So says the Gemara, Chachamim is Tanakama. Samar Rava comes and he says, Aindala the Mubet, 74b, Yemota Geshami Kabenaihu. The difference between them is going to be in the winter season. Because in the winter, according to Tanakama, he says, Bechol Yom Shana is even during the winter season. But according to Chachamim, it's not during the winter, it's Dafka during the summer. Uposekimo, two dots. Uposekimo b'kashara gavoa. You could go according to the higher price, right? Here it says gavoa is in the fruit, not in the price. It's a cheaper price in the fruits, but it's more quantity of the fruits. Okay, I mean zol zelo ala sha'ar zol. Zol ze sha'ar zol, but gavoa is not on the price. Zelo ala mechid. Gavoa is kamuta perot. When it says uposekimo kashara gavoa, I thought it's a higher price. No, it's a lower price, higher, exactly, on the more quantity. Gavoa ze olech ala perot, lo ala mechid. Exactly. Hahu gavra deyav zuze. There was a person that he gave money l'nedunya to bechamua for the nedunya of the father-in-law. The subzal nedunya at the end it went down in value. Had to look him into Rav Papa. They went to Rav Papa, and he told them, "He pasakta imo b'shar gavoa. If you paskin like the higher price." Shakil kasha, you're going to take it from now. And if not, shakil kimikari, you have to take like the beginning. That means it's going to be more expensive. Which means that if somebody would give money to the tachshite, like banot, like to pay for the nedunya, and all of a sudden now it goes down, so now it all depends on the value. Yeah, because he wants to retract in order that you can make more money, obviously. So Amru le Rabbanan le Rav Papa v'lo pasak shakil mikimikara. He says, what if they didn't take like the cheaper price? You could take from even the more expensive price. Maut it's money, and maut lo kanu. Meaning, if you give money is not a kinyan. Kinyan is only after you actually acquire it, right? The money in itself is not a kinyan. So Elmaleh, he says, Ananami lekabula ele mishepara kamina. We're also talking about mishepara, yeah, ve'i pasak. So he says, if they're going to be posek. Yeah, he comes and he says, if they're going to be posek, yeah, ipasak kashar gavoa mocher kahadar be. By mekabel le mocher mishepara. So he's going to accept upon himself mishepara. If lo pasak, and if he did not accept it upon himself lokach kahadar be, mekabel le lokach mishepara. So then he's going to accept the Lokeach is going to accept the meat shepara. So Amaleh Ravina Rav Papa says Ravina to Rav Papa. Umimai de Rabbanan he the pliga leder b'Shimon. Whoever said it's the Rabbanan that's arguing with Shimon, Tamar Ma'ot Lokanu, that they say the money is not going to be koneh. But filuach and still we pasak kashar gavua shaki kedasha. You're going to take it from now. Ilo pasak, and if it's not going to be posek shaki kedikara like the beginning. Dilma Rabbi Shimon he maybe it's Rabbi Shimon. Tamar Ma'ot konot that he says money is going to be koneh. The pasak kashar gavua. So when it's going to be posek kashar gavua shakil ki hashta, right? They're going to take it like now. Vilo pasak, and if you didn't put the fix the mechir, so shaki kimikara, you take it from the beginning. Mishum de kanili uzuze, because the money does acquire. Aval rabbanam, but according to the rabbis, whether it's pasak or pasak, you're going to take it from now. To daita the inish zila, because the person is always thinking about it, that only if it's going to be, that if it's going to go down in value, right? It's kilu, he's saying it mefurash, and he wants at that cheaper price. So Amalei, sort of Papa says, Ravina, Emar damar b'Shimon. When does Shimon say that? Bechad tara, only in one sha'ar. But in the case of two sha'arim, which means that first of all he gave the money, plus it's going to go down in value. Now you're going to say the same halacha? Obviously not. If you're not going to say that, shepara belokeach, right? Belokeach le Shimon letle. He says, does he hold that? He doesn't hold that. If you're going to tell me now hachanami, right, that this is what's going to happen. He says, yeah, if you're going to tell me hachinami that this is the way that it's going to be, Tanya, we learn mikom makom kach halacha that's halacha. But Baruch Chachamim mishepara, right? What does that mean mikom makom? It doesn't matter whether it's the lokeach or the mocher. He always accepts upon himself mishepara. Mishepara is a curse if you do not do the sale, whether you're the seller or the purchaser. It doesn't matter which one it is. But according to Rabbi Shimon, right? Lo amar. He said it only in one place, not in two different sharim. Meaning again, because there's the concept of the shar, and then there's the concept also of you give the money up front. So Amaleh Ravacha, the Rav Ravash, table the shliach shavim mikaraz. It made him a shliach. Amaleh betagara the zavim mizavim. We're talking about no. We're talking about the tagar, right? That he has it like that. Mishnah on the bottom of Ayin Daled Mubet. Malve adam et arisav chitin bechitin. You're allowed to lend out to your sharecropper chitin bechitin lezera for planting the field. Avalol lechol but not to eat. Sharon Gamliel malve et arisav chitin bechitin lezera biyoker veuzlu or bezol veukru noten men kashar azol. You always just take it like the cheaper price, right? That means even though it was going to be more or not. In such an if it became more expensive, he used to do it. Lo mipnei shalacha ken. Not because that was halacha. He wanted to be machmir alatzmi. Fine. Tanu Rabbanan. We learned in the Braita. Malvei adam et arisav chitim bechitim. A person could lend to his sharecropper chitim bechitim. Right? Again, wheat, and you pay me back wheat. It's like I give you, crackers. You give me back crackers. I went up in price or went down in price. Fine. It says lezera. That's only going to be for planting. If it did not go down, right, which means he didn't start the avodah. The second that he came down to start working, it's going to be a sur. Even for the zera. Why is it that our Tana did not make a differentiation between if he went to started becoming the sharecropper or not? And why did the other one didn't make a differentiation? Ben yarad or lo yarad. Amar Rava says, Rabbi Idi Yasmer Nihali explained it to me. In our place of our Mishnah, Arisa Yayiv Bizra. The minhag was the Aris had to bring the seeds. Ben yarad, ben lo yarad, doesn't matter whether he went up or not. You could get rid of him. So once he goes down, he's going down on that to take the fruits as well. But in the other place, it's the owner of the land gives us the seeds. If he didn't go down, you could get rid of him. But once he goes down, he's going down on that to take from the other arisim, and therefore it's going to be. You understand? It's basically who's giving the seeds? A sharecropper is somebody that comes to my land. He works the land, and then his salary is part of the fruits. I don't give him money. His salary is part of the fruits. So it depends whether it's going to be a third, or it's going to be a half. But now the question is, who puts the seeds? Is it the owner of the field, or is it the sharecropper? That's the question. Okay? So, if he went down and then you can't get rid of him, it's going to be a sur. Okay? We'll continue with that tomorrow.